right away into the fireside chat. And doing justice to that is none other person than Mr. Peter Oluka, an editor at the Tech Economy. So Mr. Peter is a multi-award winner practicing ICT journalist and a member of the executive board of directors. Peter started his mainstream journalism in 2010, working with the Nigerian News Direct newspaper. He is currently the editor-in-chief of techeconomy.ng, co-founder, acting editor, grassroots.ng, a news platform rooted in speaking for the global citizen. Peter is a .ng domain name brand ambassador from 2015 till date. He received special recognition award at the 2017 Nigeria Computer Society NSC National Information Technology Merit Awards (NITMA) for excellence in IT reporting. He also won Nigerian Women in Information Technology Best IT Editor of the Year 2018. Please a round of applause for Mr. Peter Oluka as I make his way to the seat here. And our moderator for this session is Mrs. Abimbola Aderibigbe, the Registrar, Relationship Manager, Nigeria Internet Registration Association, NIRA. Please let us give her a round of applause as they both come forward and give us the fireside chat. But please don't set the stage on fire.
Welcome once again to the Tech Convergence 1.0. I hope that you have been having a fantastic time, and I hope that you have learned one or two things, by the sessions that has preceded this one. Okay, so our session is the fireside chat, and I'm going to welcome Mr. Peter Oluka once again to this fireside chat.
Thank you.
Mr. Peter Oluka is also the member of the executive board of the Nigeria Internet Registration Association. So yes, he'll be doing justice to the topic that we have this morning. And we are discussing on leveraging .ng domain for the evolving digital content space. And so we are discussing majorly about .ng. All right, so let's just dive right in to the crux of why we're here. Mr. Peter Oluka, can you tell us more? I'm very sure that some of our participants, those who are online and those who are here, may have heard about the .ng domain for the first time. Maybe they're just hearing about .ng. Can you tell us more about the .ng domain?
Okay. Thank you so much, Bimbo. Once again, you're welcome to this Tech Convergence 1.0. So .ng, apart from it being the country code top-level domain for Nigeria, .ng has become our national treasure. It is our national asset. It is our heritage, and it is our identity online. Why do I say so? Anytime you hear about fiscal assets of the country, you hear about anything that belongs to Nigeria, .ng as well is our own national asset. But now in the digital space. And it's a unique CCTLD, because a lot of things with a lot of statements or our conversation end with something like ng, working, talking, dancing, enjoying, So .ng is unique. It gives the user a unique identity. It's something that shows that or points to the world that this platform or this user is actually from Nigeria or is resident in Nigeria or is coming from Nigeria. So I will start by saying that it is our unique national identity in the digital space.
Thank you very much, Mr. Peter, for that explicit explanation. Can you also tell us what is the advantage of using a .ng domain over using any other generic domain for businesses, for startups, for digital content creation online and all that?
So it's the advantages are quite many, but I've just mentioned a few of them. First of all, it's about branding. In branding, you look at something that will make you unique or distinguish you from other brands. And .ng is that thing that offers your business a distinction. For instance, if I ask you about Nigeria, banks in Nigeria and or platforms in Nigeria, I'm going to mention some names. For instance, Fidelity.ng. Anybody who is going to that website knows that this bank is a Nigerian bank. And for Fidelity also, you look at their color, it's also green. So it's easy to identify that this is a Nigerian bank. Sterling is also using .ng. And that gives you that unique identity also as a Nigerian bank. I'm also in other ones are not Nigerian bank, but we are telling them to do what, to migrate to NG to become real Nigerian banks in the sense in the digital ecosystem. So first of all, is that unique brand positioning it gives you when you adopt .ng. Secondly, is about if you're a content creator, one of the things you are particular about is what is about the SEO, search engine optimization. And if you are a business that is in Nigeria, that adopting.ng gives you that opportunity or gives you that uniqueness that the search engines were able to trace you. I'll give you an instance. Why do you think that Google of this world has google.com.ng? Why do you think that, so anything you're going to search on Google and you're searching from Nigeria, it first of all has to give you that based on the words, the unique position or the unique country where you're coming from, which is Nigeria. And that thing has to come from, you go and check it today, google.com.ng. That is first you're going to come. If you're going to search about anything about Lagos, about anywhere, or anything that has to do with Nigeria. And Google organizes this, and they have to give us that special, domain name, which is google.com.ng. Go and check it. Maybe you have not noticed that. So if you're going to search for anything for Ghana, you are going to see the country code. That is what Google is going to bring up first of all. Because that thing you're searching within that radius of that country. So they're going to give you that unique word. So if Google is going to do it, and you know that Google is a master when it comes to SEO for content creators, and you know that for other platforms also, are you aware that today, just like we heard from IXPN, are you aware that today that if you're going to search anything, if you're on Facebook, that most of the things you're searching on Facebook, most of those things are within Nigeria because they host part of their traffic in Nigeria. Likewise, Microsoft is doing that in Nigeria also. So as a Nigerian business, you know that SEO is what you're looking for as a content creator. First of all, it gives you that opportunity to have that uniqueness when you're having your content in Nigeria.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Peter Oluka. You mentioned while you were speaking that the .ng is your Nigeria identity online. Does that not now limit me and my business to Nigeria alone? I want my business to be global. I want my brand to be global. Does using a .ng not limit me?
It does not limit you at all. I can tell you that, for instance, for us in tech economy, is techeconomy.ng. Our 5 top countries where our traffic come from is Nigeria, US, UK, South Africa. Then you start having Ghana, you start having Kenya, and these are outside Nigeria. So our traffic is not just Nigeria. So first of all, what it does is that it gives you that unique opportunity, then also throws you to the outside world. It exposes to the outside world because people want to know about Nigeria. People want to know about their business. Now, another thing again is that when you have this, another thing you have to look at is your content. Does your content speak the global language? Does your business speak the global language? Does your business appeal to the global market? Does it appeal to the people? Because you may have even the one you see as generic domains, but if you don't have the right preposition, you don't have the right content, you don't have the right business approach, it may not even go anywhere. So first of all, adopt this as your unique identity. It gives you opportunity. Then you look at your content, you look at what you're doing. That also gives you in a kind of a promise.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I would also like to ask, you have mentioned while you were also discussing a few brands that have adopted the use of .ng, and the brands you mentioned are the so-called big brands. Does that mean that, tech startups are not adopting? Can tech startups also adopt the use of .ng?
Wow, I think it's even better for tech startups to adopt .ng. Let me give you an instance. There's something that NITDA is doing, NITDA, and they call it startup labeling. I'm happy that someone from NITDA is here who can attest to this. They call it startup labeling. Why are they doing that? They are doing that in the sense that as a startup, you register with NITDA, and investors are speaking to NITDA, asking them, do you have startups in the area of health, in the area of e-commerce, in the area of agri-tech? They can easily identify with you. Now, if NITDA is doing this as a government agency, how about you having that uniqueness that anybody goes to search maybe top 10 e-health platforms in Nigeria, and because you have .ng, of course, your SEO and everything is going to bring you up there. There are so many startups like Sycamore who are on .ng, and they're doing very well. So, like I said, first of all, it's about the business idea you have. .ng is there to help that business idea to become to have a global visibility. It doesn't limit you at all. So there are many of them. You ask yourself, how about the Guardian of this world, the Guardian.ng? Guardian is on .ng. How about Leadership newspaper is on .ng? How about Independent newspaper is on .ng? How about Business Day is on .ng? These are platforms that they are doing well. So it gives you that opportunity. It's a speedboat for you to do what? To launch the global market.
Okay, so we all know today that if you want to get, generic domains, you have to pay in USD. Can you tell us more about .ng? How affordable is it compared to other generic compared to other generic domain names?
If you look at .ng today, I can say that the price is quite competitive compared to what you see out there. Of course, you know what it means to go and get the FX to buy or pay for, their domain outside the country. You know what? It's not easy for businesses to do that these days. So, price-wise, .ng is hands down to other ones because you are going to pay in Naira. And I also advise that you host with maybe businesses that hosting companies, or make sure that you have hosting companies in Nigeria who are hosting your .ng. Come to NIRA, talk to NIRA. We have the registrars who are all doing that on our behalf because we don't register as a registry. Ours is just to provide ecosystem. We don't register, but to have registrars who have been accredited to do that. And you choose any of them, .ng is competitive price-wise with any other domain you can mention today.
Thank you very much for giving us that insight. I would like to ask one last question before we wrap up this session.
Yes.
So how, as a startup, or perhaps I just want to register a .ng domain, how do I do that? Where do I start from? Where do I check? How do I get a .ng domain?
Okay, I want any business or anyone who is here, first of all, put down this name, register.ng. Put it down on your paper or maybe put it on your phone, register.ng. I'm going to come back to that. But first of all, before you register.ng, first of all, you know the business you want to do, you know the ecosystem you want to play. Get the name you want to register first of all. And this is something you can do yourself. Because sometimes when you go to register the name, maybe it has been chosen, and you are talking to a developer. The developer tells you, oh, .ng is chosen. Let me just switch to the other domain and choose for you. But when you do it yourself, you're able to do what? Combine names, make some adjustments to get the name you want. I'll give you an instance. Before we registered Tech Economy, that morning I had about 25 names that were ready. The previous day before the morning, I had 25 names. That was in 2017. Those 25 names were ready that nobody had registered them. But that morning, as I was about to register the domain name, the name Tech Economy dropped in my mind, and I was like, oh, we want to report about tech. And you know that tech is traversing every industry. So how do you choose a name that can do what? That can traverse every other name? And that name dropped. And that became a unique name that today to tomorrow, people appreciate that name, techeconomy.ng. So when you choose that name you want to register, you go to register.ng. That is going to be your kind of a one-stop shop for you, because we're going to direct you about how to go about it. The registrar you can work with to register, and even the hosting, to advise you on how to get the hosting companies to host your domain and everything that you need to do. So register.ng is one platform that can help you to do that.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Peter Oluka, for that insight. We have all heard from Mr. Peter Oluka. He said a few things just to recap this session. He said .ng domain is your Nigerian identity online. If you want to identify with Nigeria, your business brand should, be registered under a .ng. if you are not on a .ng, you are wrong, because if you are in Nigeria, you need to adopt the use of .ng. We need to be patriotic, and that starts from us. It starts from us inside. And he also mentioned that .ng is affordable, compared to other .ng domain, compared to other generic domains. .ng is more affordable. It doesn't give you the stress of having to get FX, to get a domain. And he also mentioned that if you would like to get a .ng domain, go to our page register.ng. From there, you can check the availability of the name you want to register, and then if it's available, we have a list of accredited registrars. The ones that NIRA has accredited, they are credible to register your .ng. You choose any one of them, and then you register your .ng. So let's be patriotic. We have some of our registrars here at the booth. So if you want more information, please, you can go there. We have a few of our registrars. You can visit the booth. You can ask your questions. NIRA also has a stand there if you want to ask, if you need more information and you want to ask more questions. Thank you very much. With this, we've come to the end of this session, and we hope that you have picked one or two things from here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.